Welcome to Reinventing the Arena, the podcast that guides you through the powerful journey of aligning, embodying, and rising into your most authentic self. We dive deep into the transformative power of doing the inner work because the most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. When you align with your authentic self, you naturally attract the relationships and experiences meant for you. I'm your host, Molly Conley, a coach who's passionate about helping you uncover who you truly are using human design, NLP, and self-empowerment tools. Here we explore the art of aligning with your authentic self, embodying your highest potential, and rising above old patterns to create a life that resonates with who you truly are. Whether you're seeking deeper fulfillment in love or your personal journey, this space is designed to inspire your evolution. Together, we'll explore self-discovery, share transformational stories, and uncover the energetic shifts needed to create the love and life you truly desire. This isn't just about change. It's about fully stepping into who you were meant to be. So, lady, align, embody, and rise. Welcome to your journey of self-transformation. Welcome to Reinventing the Arena. Hey there, lady. Welcome back to Reinventing the Arena. I am so glad you're here. As always, this is such a fun episode. I cannot wait to discuss this. So today's episode might challenge you the way we look at change. We're exploring something I see a lot with my clients and absolutely have wrestled with myself. So the question would be, does lasting transformation happen through big leaps or the quiet, consistent steps? If you've ever felt like you're behind or you're not where you want to be in life because you're not having these big dramatic breakthroughs, this episode is really for you. Also, before we dive in, I just wanted to remind you that something fun was coming. And it wasn't only the Your Words, Your Magic giveaway. It actually is a report called You Unfiltered. It's a human design report where we're going to explore more than just a chart. It's going to be a deep personal guide to understand where your energy is truly showing up. And is it yours or has it been shaped by the world around you? This is going to be available for free through June 15th. So what you need to do after this episode is over, head to the link in the show notes to go ahead and download yours for free. It's going to run through your energy type, your strategy, your authority, your not self theme, your signature theme, as well as areas we really haven't gone into, such as your profile type, and even what it's like for you to have certain undefined and defined centers. We're going to go through all of that for you. Okay, so let's get started in today's episode. So let's even start with the biggest one, which is the quantum leap. These are the things that everything changed overnight. So this could be that, someone moving across the country, showing up to work and just quitting their job, launching a new business, falling in love, or even just saying, screw it, let's elope. All of this is fun. We glamorize these things culturally. We crave them. Why? Because they're very visible. They're shareable, and they make us feel as if we have arrived at that next step. And for some people, even maybe that's like, we have arrived, I can check that box. But here's the truth with these. The leap only lands well when there's a foundation present. Otherwise, it can create just as much chaos as it does growth, right? So for me, there was a time I can think very clearly where I went ahead and took the leap. I said yes to something when the foundation, the internal and external groundwork was not there. In my mid-20s, I hadn't really worked on myself yet. I knew that there was something wrong, but I was blaming all the external factors around me and not 100% taking accountability for the areas in my life And I was in this, what I thought was a wonderful relationship, a man who really loved me, who we had so much in common. And there were little red flags coming here and coming there, and almost like sprouting like a garden. But I felt that if I tended to that garden and showed him what I could add to the garden, though, as like maybe fertilizer or new plants, those little red flags in the garden would go away. And I'm talking about my ex-husband. We were engaged within a few months, married about a year later. We had went ahead and rushed through the process of finding a house right before the housing crisis started in 2008. And he was also a lot younger than me at the time. He was 4 years younger, just turned 21, hadn't really figured out a lot of things of what he wanted in his life, but supposedly they really matched what I did. And slowly but surely, I started to realize that we weren't on the same plane. We weren't even in the same garden. We weren't even on the same planet about what we were wanting, not only together as a couple, but for our future. So this can be one of those scary, chaotic, and life-changing quantum leaps that is a check mark box. Like, oh, we might as well do this because we did this together, or we might as well do this because this is the direction I think my life's going. It wasn't really grounded in my internal truth or even the truth that we both were bringing to the table. So, in contrast, micro shifts are quiet. They can be visible to you, but very small, or they are visible to everyone else around you when you might not notice. Because maybe you're saying no to a pattern that used to run your life. Maybe you're pausing before reacting and choosing to respond. Maybe you're choosing your authority um, over your old stories. So these changes aren't necessarily something that you feel is shareable or something that's going to just go viral on TikTok or on Instagram, make you famous, or bring that sense of validation that you are deeply desiring. They even might not be celebrated. But these moments, these micro shifts, these small changes are profound. So, this is where human design comes in. Following your strategy and authority might look subtle. It might look really basic. You read things in your report, you read things about your chart, and you're like, I already do that. I got this and that down. But it really, once you start to take more of the steps together of your strategy and your authority, it teaches you how to make choices and live in alignment. In NLP, we call this shifting your identity level. It's not about the external outcome, it's more about that internal change. It's who we become in the process. One micro shift that I can share that's very visible for me is my career shift. Back in 2011, already divorced, I decided to shift my work from being in marketing and graphic design to learning about nonprofits and wanting to really be there to help make change. I decided to work for a state endowment, and that's where my marketing skills were definitely utilized. I hated social media. Wanted nothing to do with it, but I was slowly learning that I needed to learn more about the basics of Facebook. And this is before Instagram, MySpace was just dying out, and Facebook was just turning into what it is without having to have a college email to sign up to use it. So we were utilizing that and writing blogs and other content. And slowly but surely, I realized this might be a direction I want to shift my focus. And as I was doing that, I realized I wanted to leave the nonprofit world and get back into marketing. But in the Midwest, digital marketing was not something that people knew much about, let alone had degrees or opportunities to expand at the time. So I left my nonprofit job for a social media position for a TV company. And that then led me to paid search at Yahoo, which then led me to be very more specifically aligned to do paid search for a retail company called Hay Needle, which was eventually bought by Walmart. And then I learned more about different areas of digital marketing throughout the rest of my corporate career. So this started in 2011 and ran all the way through 2021. So for a decade, that small shift of me saying, I'm going to learn a little bit more about social media just so that I can see where this goes, turned into a decade-long career of not social media marketing, but knowing how it works and knowing how to utilize it in a sense, and then shifting into paid search and affiliate marketing, into different types of paid advertising that really allowed me to expand and grow as a person through different sort of experiences. When you think of the quantum leap and the micro shift, we have been sold this idea that it has to be one or the other to go all in. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. But if you've been around here long enough, real change is not linear. It's often, spiraling. And I almost like to think of it as a tornado. It starts off really small in these circles, and then it gets like bigger and bigger as it goes up. And the pathway is not really clear. Is it going to go this direction or is it going to go that direction? No one really knows. And then it can actually fade away and lift itself up, and the transformation of that might already be complete. So the truth about all this is that quantum leaps usually come after a series of micro shifts. It's like stretching a rubber band, and it snaps only when the tension has been built over time. So thinking about it, really, it could just, I don't even want to do it on the podcast, but now I'm feeling almost inclined to do that. But in quantum physics, quantum doesn't mean fast. It means potent. It means precise. It means discrete. So if you've been waiting for this breakthrough for yourself, whether that's, in love, in your career, or just in general with life, like how have you been laying the groundwork to support it, to support that quantum leap for you? Now, not everyone is supposed to move at the same pace. In human design, I have discussed this before, manifestors really do crave that leap, but they have to have rest cycles. If they don't, they burn out. Generators and manifesting generators really do build through aligned responses that they feel with their authority. And as they do that, they build that momentum. And those micro shifts actually will happen more often, and they're going to matter more. And then projectors, they need to wait not only for the invitation, but really for that recognition. And that allows them to self-validate as well and move in focused waves, not with force. And last but not least, reflectors. They're going to change throughout their environment and rhythms. It's not going to be a sudden action. It's more going to be a sampling of what is going on and taking that and reflecting it back to themselves in order to make that decision that is going to leap them to the next level. So understanding your energy type is really going to help you trust your pace. And when we start looking at conditioning, what we thought we had to do quickly or even loudly to be quote unquote successful, we can finally start honoring our own energetic rhythm. This is where the report, You Unfiltered, is going to be helpful because it's going to show you where you're most conditioned to rush, override your body, or even seek external validation. But here's something we don't talk enough about. Change does not stick unless your nervous system feels safe. You can't know that you need to change. You can want it desperately. And generators, we do know this. When something doesn't feel good, we know it in our body. But if your body really associates change with danger, you're going to sabotage it unconsciously. So this is why micro shifts help you build this internal safety over time. I've had clients who've made slow progress, but they weren't stuck. I've been there as well, because you have to learn how to be safe to be seen. And normally that starts with you feeling safe within yourself so that you can even see yourself. That way others can see you. This allows you to also feel loved, to feel respected. And this is not slow. This is a sacred sort of transformation that happens first internally. So, what I want you to do is pause at this moment, grab a journal or whatnot, because of course I have some reflection questions for you. Number one, what is a micro shift that I have been underestimating? This could be how maybe you've decided to make one little shift at work, one little shift with your health, one little shift about how you see dating, how you are responding in your relationship, how you're setting boundaries with yourself, how you're reconnecting with yourself. One thing. What is something small that has allowed you to make that shift? Number two, where am I chasing a leap instead of trusting the step or process that I'm in? This could be, I am trying so hard to find someone to date. I am going through as many profiles. I'm downloading apps, deleting apps. I'm going out. I'm doing this. That's chasing. You're chasing the end dream of being in a relationship with someone. You're craving something else that you really can give to yourself first. Okay? And number three, what conditioning do I still carry that tells me small isn't enough? So meaning, what small shift do I feel is not important because of my conditioning? This could be everything from a personal accomplishment at work that you are still saying, oh, that's okay. I don't really need to share this little win because it's still so small for me, yet it's leading you to have more experience in your career that allow you to have different opportunities. Or you just got a raise, but it's not very much. I don't really want to share it, but that is allowing you to have more freedom financially in your lifestyle. These are all things to celebrate. Same thing with a relationship. Maybe you're having a difficult time making friends as an adult, and you have said hello to 3 people this week, and they actually started a conversation with you, and you're feeling more outgoing when normally you feel reserved. That is a win. Okay, and last but not least, this is a big one. So number 4, what might shift if I saw every small choice as proof that I'm transforming? I'm not even going to give you examples there. I want your brain to run wild, and I want your body to bring things up internally to show you that you are. So overall, maybe it's not about finding that perfect leap, and maybe it's not about perfect consistency either. It's about choosing the shift that aligns with your body and your energy and trusting that it's enough. And if you want to get clear on what that alignment looks for you, download my free human design report, You Unfiltered. Like I said, it's available for free through June 15th, and it will help you see your energy with new clarity, especially where you've been conditioned to maybe rush, to prove yourself, to push through. Just click the link in the show notes to get yours. All right, lady, until next time, trust your energy, trust your rhythm, and trust yourself. But remember, lasting change really does begin within. Thank you, lady, for joining me on this journey of aligning, embodying, and rising into your most authentic self. Remember, the most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. And when you do the inner work, you naturally attract the love and life meant for you. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to rate and review the show. Your feedback not only helps more women discover the power of self-transformation, but also helps us grow this community. If you're ready to go deeper and align with a relationship and life you truly desire, I invite you to explore my coaching services. Together, we'll use human design, NLP techniques, and self-empowerment tools to help you break through old patterns and create a life that resonates with who you truly are. Visit reinventingthearena.com to learn more and take the next steps in your journey of self-discovery and alignment. Until next time, lady, keep aligning, keep embodying, and keep rising. Thanks for listening to Reinventing the Arena.